I was the director of the
Simran?
ICMR. Dozens of girls that time joined here.
You are from incubator, huh? AIMS, sir. Oh, what's your name? Manoj Kumar. You are also Manoj. Manoj girl. And there is another Manoj Kumar in genome engineering. Very nice. So, what is your background? Okay. Pinku, everything is okay? Just Rashi.
What about in JNCR? With this Thomas Kundu.
Acha Kundu.
Very good work there. Then he came here as a school officer of ICMR. But then again he left, went somewhere, and again came back. There's the ICMR project.
Can we start, Dr. Bass? Good afternoon, friends. I'm so happy to welcome a very distinguished friend and also an official from ICMR with whom I have worked in the committee because I was the chairman of Technical Advisory Committee for MDMS, that is a mission for diagnostics and devices, medical diagnostics and devices. And the mission secretariat was created, and Suchita was the mission director for driving the health technologies. So this technology, she has done wonders. So I used to admire the dynamism and the way in which she has developed the centers of excellence in IITs, driving the programs. So that is how I know Dr. Suchita. And on behalf of Founder President, whom you may not have met, Dr. Ashok Chauhan, whom you see in that portrait along with the President of India. He is our President, Founder President. And on his behalf, and on behalf of our Chancellor, Dr. Atul Chauhan, and also Vice Chancellor, Dr. Balvinder Shukla, and all of us in a meeting, we welcome you, Dr. Suchita. And I have invited specifically some senior people who are dealing with health and allied areas, and also who are dealing with the medical devices, health technology, biosensors, and ultimately deliverables have to come out of this to meet the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So I have picked up only the people, like Hridesh Prakash is going to start a clinical trial, which is already going to be in phase 2. So he will talk about this. So I have picked up selectively people who will be benefited by your lecture. So it is more of focused discussion rather than a lecture, which we will arrange later for students and others. But this is going to be a outcome-oriented, result-oriented discussions we will have. So we are all keenly looking forward to listen to you, because the ICMR provides tremendous opportunity. ICMR is the apex research organization for all the health and allied areas. So the Department of Health Research and the ICMR, which is a major constituent of DHR, it has done remarkable job in the last about 5 decades. And in terms of the public health and in terms of now promoting the medical devices development, like weapons being imported, you can imagine almost about 80% of medical devices are imported. Can you imagine in our country who makes rocket and sends it to the Mars orbiter and lunar missions, Chandrayaan, all this, having done this, we are still importing 80% of medical devices, sometimes even surgical instruments, catheters. So we want to change. So this I started in DRDO, a Society for Biomedical Technology. DRDO, because DRDO develops a lot of medical devices. You all know it's for the soldiers, but then there must be a forum through which we reach the people. So I created a Society for Biomedical Technology. At that time, there was no regulation who will regulate the standards, safety, everything about the medical device design. So we created IMDRA, Indian Medical Devices Regulatory Authority, sent to ICMR from DRDO. Then now it is taking a different avatar. So this is like that. I had a very close association, and in fact, founder president, I invited him for meetings in ICMR, in DRDO. One of the meeting, he was especially invited. Dr. Katoch was the director general at that time. So we were discussing this issue, what you are driving now, medical devices, that how do we promote indigenous development of medical devices. So I remember the reminiscence of founder president attending this a special invite and committing that yes, we should promote medical devices. So I'm here now in Amity. So that is why we want to take your advice. How can Amity expand our contributions in ICMR, particularly in the health devices diagnostic development? As I mentioned to you, we have a formal MOU with ICMR. So all Amity institutions, we have 12 universities in India, 18 campuses abroad, 28 schools, 250,000 students, 10,000 faculties, 5,000 PhD scholars. So we have signed this MOU. Amity Universe can work with ICMR Universe, because you also have more than 20 institutions and a large number of very distinguished scientists are there with you. So we have signed a MOU with ICMR, which is doing extremely well. We have produced joint PhDs. So I was just asking Suchendra, what is the number of the current recent ones? We got the data from Dr. Gulrul Koka. There are 22 PhD scholars currently doing jointly mentored. There is a guide here. There is a co-guide in ICMR Institute laboratories. Then ICMR has sanctioned 49 research projects in the last about 8 years. And this is where jointly some of the co-investigators are from ICMR institutions. And then ICMR has also, we have joint 300 research papers jointly authored by ICMR scientists and the Amity faculties. That's a good number. Then currently we have 29 senior research fellows of ICMR, 17 JRFs we have, one young scientist we have. That's current status I'm telling you. And many people have passed out as well. So that is our relationship now. That is the partnership between ICMR as well as Amity University. Then we got 4 Shakuntala Amirchand Prize, which is the young scientist for publication, best publication. From here, four years consecutive, 2013, 14, 16, 19, respectively, Shakuntala Amirchand Research Prize, which we got. Manoj is one of those recipients of Shakuntala Amirchand, Manoj Garg. So then we have invited Dr. Meenakshi Sharma, scientist here, who was there at that time when ICMR. We have developed a drone. Our students have developed a drone. So we wanted to drop the vaccines and medicines to remote areas.
Yes.
So this drone was considered for use of that. So they have visited 4 of them, Dr. Meenakshi Sharma, Dr. Prakamya Gupta, and also Parul Srivastava. Then founder president was invited as the chief guest in ICMR 5th Rajasthan conclave held at DMRC in Jodhpur. So he was, our founder president was the chief guest over there.
Dr. Tuteja,
Right.
Yeah, Dr. Tuteja was the director of DMRC and Kotouch was the DG at that time. So Dr. Ashok Chauhan, the founder president, went as the chief guest to inaugurate the 5th Rajasthan conclave of ICMR. Similarly, Kotouch, he has been honored, and Dr. Soumya Swaminathan as honorary causa, including the subsequent also, Bhargava also. We have awarded them honorary DSC honoris causa to them. So we have a close relationship with your organization. That's what first thing I wanted to tell. So you are coming, our aspirations have gone further up. And also Dr. Chauhan and myself visited ICMR, National Institute of Cancer Prevention and Research, with a big delegation. A number of scientists were taken together, which is just in Noida. which he was the founder director. That Dr. B.C. Das was the founder director. So, Suchita, we have a very strong collaboration partnership with ICMR. Now you are coming, we want to set the benchmark very high, as well as we have to take it to a newer pinnacles. So we want to listen from you that what all we can do more than what we have done so far. You want to? 20 participants are there who are joining online across Amity University. Oh, yeah. We have circulated this to all Amity campuses. So they are also watching online like this. Right. 20 of them have joined the noodles. You can see that here. So I welcome all the people who have joined online, and particularly from all the other Amity institutions outside AUP. And I hope you'll have a very fruitful discussion. You can also interact with Dr. Suchita Markan, that very distinguished official from ICMR. So please feel free whenever you want to ask some question, raise your hand, then we can also involve you in this interactive session. Now, just to introduce Dr. Suchita Markan, she is a scientist Z, which is a senior position in ICMR, and she is the scientist and mission in charge. That's a mission director of Medical Devices and Diagnostic Mission Secretariat. Mission Secretariat. You can imagine it's not just the normal directorate or secretariat. This was named as Mission Secretariat so that there is a trust, like our SNT warriors. We call SNT warriors. Like we have now Rajiv Nain is there. And Vivek is there. Vivek has not come. So we have created SNT warriors, science and technology warriors. Wow. Dr. Chauhan has called them fondly as warriors because they have to work on mission mode. Right. They have to, like war front, if they have to be there 24 hours, they have to be alert, awake, contributing. So that is why we have named this. So I'm also happy to know that this is a mission secretariat which she is heading and mission director. And also, she has done, if you see her own, she's PhD from PGI Chandigarh, one of the top institutions, Chandigarh. And so she has done in PGI MER Chandigarh, doctorate, and also completed another executive general management from IIM Lucknow. So she was looking at management as well. So one side the technical as well as the managerial exposure. Then her expertise is in public policy, intellectual property, and technology transfer. That's why I have called Meenakshi Kanojia, who is our chief for technology transfer. So she will learn a lot and she will interact with you subsequently. Also, there are many technologies where a TRL level is 2, 3, 4, 5, and she wants to mature it. So we can, she will take your advice and guidance. So Meenakshi, you should interact with her. So, and then she has 15 years of experience in this field, and we are all very happy that and she takes the India's achievements in this field of health and allied areas, particularly related to technologies, diagnostics, as well as devices. She has taken to many international forums, US states, Department of State Department in US, and also Visitors Leadership Program. So like this, she is propagating what India's strength and opportunities available for health technology development. So we have such a wonderful person here. And to introduce my very distinguished colleagues, we have Dr. B.C. Das, and he is an authority in the field of cancer biology. We call him fondly, he's the father of HPV, human papilloma virus, which causes cancer cervix. And he is now the Dean of Health Sciences, so he is the most important person for the health. And he controls all, he supports all the medical health related institutions, which are almost a dozen. And he is also the chairman of Molecular Medicine and Stem Cell Research. He is also chairman of the University Research Council. So several positions he occupies. So Dr. Das, we call him a Pitama in the field of medical science and health and allied areas. So thank you, Dr. Das, for joining. Okay. And we have very distinguished faculties. He is the director, Dr. Biswas. He is the director of Amity Institute of Molecular Medicine and Stem Cell Research, working with Dr. Das. And we picked up this talent from ILBS. ILBS, the founder president keeps going there for Hepatitis Day, and many occasions we visit. So he spotted this man, and he said, why don't we bring him here? So both of us were there together. Silvamurthy, we should get him here. So we got him. So, and he is giving a new paradigm, and he has come out with a path-breaking research on surviving. It's one of he will talk about it during that. And we have a series, path-breaking presentation series. So in which his was one of the presentation. So which will indicate that how the application of the surviving, he will talk about that. Dr. Simran Tandon, again, she works as associate director, and now she is looking after a number of projects and academic program along with molecular medicine and stem cell research with Dr. Das. Then we have Dr. Hridesh Prakash. He is the center head for Amity Center for Translational Research. So translational research, we are giving a focus. So we established a center, and he is coming out with two molecules for tuberculosis, L-serine and also barbitide coenzyme A. So now this is getting into clinical trials. His ICMR has already approved the steps required, and he has applied for Drug Control Journal of India. Along with experts, it's a multi-institutional, he will explain that. So Hridesh Prakash is the head of the Amity Center for Translational Research. Manoj Garg is a Ramalinga Swami fellow. Ramalinga Swami, the DG of ICMR, was DG, and very distinguished DG ICMR. So Ramalinga Swami fellow, he is, and then now he is professor. Dr. Pallavi Agarwal, again, another Ramalinga Swami fellow who got the Ramalinga fellowship when she was here as a faculty. Okay. So that was a very great recognition for us. And she has a number of projects, including many ICMR projects, which she will also mention. After your presentation, we'll have discussion. So all of them will make their presentations. So among other people on this side, we have Group Captain Kapil Shukla, and who is our Director Outcome. So now if you have come here and so many people participated, he is going to ask us what is the sustainable outcome. So there is a directorate of outcome. The founder created three important missions. Mission Connect. So we connected with ICMR. And then Mission Synergy. We have already got some synergy from by this collaboration and partnership. But now, in this visit, how are we expanding? How are we raising the outcome from this collaboration? That is what is responsibility. To follow it up with the people now who all participated, what you have done, what you are going to do, then he will keep following it. So sustainable outcome he ensures. Mr. S.N. Singh, he is the director of ASTRIP, Amity Science Technology and Innovation Foundation. He gives all the administrative support, project management, all the fiscal management of sanctioned projects, everything is done by him in addition to other administrative responsibilities of my directorate. Meenakshi Kanodia, she is a specialist in technology transfer, and she did that special program. So she is a certified technology transfer specialist from IIT Delhi. She did that. Oh, yeah, you were in the same group. Very good. So you know each other very good. Tinku Basu is the molecular medicine chief. Nanomedicine. Sorry, nanomedicine. She has come out with the biosensor, which you.
Sir, right now we have a project, third year it is, COVID antibody detection, and we are making a common patent with CRP as well as antibody spectral electrochemical device. Okay, together. And one scientist, Apeksha Jadhav, she is doing PhD with us. Okay, that's great.
Very good. So, and Suchandra has been coordinating with you, so you know her. So, this is a small group which we have assembled to discuss, and then 20 people have joined online as well. And I welcome each and every one of you. So, now it is Dr. Suchita. Please give your presentation and lecture. Then we will discuss what we can do together, and then we'll take your advice, guidance to expand and deepen our relationship. You can put this here.
Thank you, sir. I think it was a wonderful
welcome, and I must appreciate, sir, that he knows, apart from knowing in and out of the strengths of a meeting, he knows in and out of the strengths of the faculty in the room and online. So it's really an amazing experience always meeting him and listening to him and his vision. And similar is our DG, current DG, Dr. Rajiv Nair. He also knows each and every scientist on what is their strength. Similar was our earlier DG, Dr. Balram Bhargava. And I was speaking to sir that the way ICMR has evolved, it's really amazing. In fact, when the current DG, because he came from WHO, he was working there for 18 years. Last 18 years, he was in Geneva. And in candid discussions few days back, he was just speaking to the scientists that when he was about to join ICMR, people would, in the WHO headquarters, would ask him that what is ICMR into? And he said that ICMR is a very good organization. It is more a pioneering biomedical research organization. It is more in doing surveillance. It is more in doing R&D. And when he came here in 3-4 years now, he's very much happy to say that now we are more into innovations. That 3-4 years, 4-5 years down the line, there has been a paradigm shift in the approach of ICMR. Maybe COVID was an eye opener for all of us. I was there, so he was might be the key champion in being the key workforce of COVID products development. But after COVID, this is ICMR 2.0. You can say that strategically we are now shifting. We are, of course, we are supporting the research as the leading biomedical research organization. Surveillance, that's our mandate. But now we are shifting gears to more work into the technology, enabling policies to foster innovation ecosystem in the country and how we can help innovators do that. So I was not aware of this cohort of senior scientists I would be interacting to. So I have made a presentation to give you a holistic picture of what we are doing in to spearhead the innovation ecosystem in the country, particularly from public health perspective, because that's our key mandate, being ICMR. So I've tried to touch upon all the things, different milestones or different ingredients of building an innovation ecosystem from public health perspective, wherein ICMR is contributing. And I've also covered few recent initiatives. Since additionally, I have also been given charge from MDMS. I have also been given charge to head the Innovation and Translational Research Unit in ICMR, similar to sir. So, and I'm very happy to see the how we are now trying to touch the lives of volumes of people. And I think maybe after this presentation, we can have more engagement. The presentation is relatively bigger, so maybe I will skip some slides in the interest of time. And can we go, sir, with your
permission? Yes, please.
And so.
No, you have to sit that side.
This one?
No, this
Sir has already apprised you all, but it becomes my duty to tell about ICMR before I open up and tell you details of what we are doing as far as innovation ecosystem is concerned. As sir has rightly mentioned that ICMR is the leading biomedical research organization of the country. And we have been pioneering fostering biomedical research since 1911. So 100 plus years of working in the area of biomedical research. We are similar and equivalent to NIH of the US, and I'm sure in India we do the similar business as NIH does in the US. And there have been a lot of accolades from the minister and MOS, which I have written, that they also gave a lot of accolades to ICMR, that we have been, the kind of work that we have been doing, not only fostering biomedical research, but also translational sciences. And the headquarters is located in Delhi, New Delhi, but we have 27 institutes pan-India.
Just I will interrupt you. Srimati Anupriya Patel, she is the alumnus of Amit University.
Oh, wow, that's great.
So, who is now the minister, you are Minister of State.
Wow.
MOS is our Amit alumnus.
That's amazing. And if you look at the institutes, the spread of the institutes is pan-India, and they are all strategically focused on different kind of diseases because the mandate is huge. biomedical research is a huge mandate, but since sir is here, I don't think so I need to explain. Like NICPR is an institute which focused only on cancer research. Likewise, we have institutes for doing fostering research in the area of TB, NIRT, occupational health, NIOH. Likewise, thematic institutes have been set up across India so that we can cater to the different biomedical research areas of the country and cater to the public health issues in those areas specifically, and that there is structured research in these areas. So I've tried to cover all these aspects because according to me, if you have to have innovation ecosystem in the country, a building needs some bricks. Likewise, I believe that these are the essential ingredients for building an innovation ecosystem in the country. One, if you do not have enabling policies in the country, then it becomes very, very difficult to build upon that ecosystem. You cannot build a building unless it doesn't have a good base.
Closer. Please. Laptop. Because that is not very
Yes, sir.
clearly not visible.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That will help you.
Sure. Thank you, sir. So, first, of course, we need to have enabling policies. The policies won't work unless you have something tangible in place. Policies are intangible resource. So, you need to have appropriate infrastructure in place so as to implement these policies in a physical infrastructure. Without funding, nothing can happen. Of course, you need to have appropriate funding, which is right quantum of funding should be there so as to develop products, to do research, to scale up those products. And you should have a mechanism of evaluation of those, if those technologies have been developed. You need to have an appropriate infrastructure to validate those technologies on ground and do field feasibility studies, get regulatory approvals. And there is also one aspect from particularly relevant from public health perspective. There is a systematic evaluation of clinical evidence which is generated, which is called health technology assessment. So HTA is again something really, really important if you have to commercialize these products and get procurement from particularly from public health procurement perspective, because the government market is 60-70% of the total market, particularly in health. So when we talk to innovators, they always say that they look forward to how we can get access to the public market. So ICMR DHR has health technology assessment as an independent body whose mandate is to do HTA, and HTA is a systematic evaluation for evaluating technologies from public health perspective. So, and apart from having all these things, the 3 M's our DG says, men, money, material, along with policies, you also need to have, sometimes you need to have some flagship initiatives to bring them all together and drive it in a mission mode. So there are 2-3 very important initiatives which are now being run at ICMR DHR, which I thought I'll share with the members, and because they are for anybody and everybody. They are just online applications which you have to fill and get use of this facility opportunity. So I thought I'll share them as well with all of you. No problem, sir. So basically, coming to the enabling policies and guidelines, since your team is well versed with the ecosystem, and I will not speak much about the policies and guidelines, but particularly from public health perspective, if it comes to drafting of appropriate ethical guidelines, AI came into picture, and ethics is concerned with the use of AI in developing products. So ICMR, these are some exemplary guidelines, but we are responsible for making the guidelines as per the requirements of the country, just to be as being the custodians of public health. So as and when the requirement comes, ICMR is responsible for making different kind of guidelines, be it ethical guidelines, be it guidelines for good clinical.
And he is also chairman of the ethics committee.
Okay, great. And we maintain different kind of databases, but the policies which are there on the downside of this slide is what we have been driving, and within the last 3-4 years, these policies have come up through the work of my team, wherein the public health professionals, the doctors would find it very difficult to work with industry or private sector, and you know that if you have to have products in the market, multidisciplinary research is a mandatory thing. Doctors, engineers, designers, along with startups, they should work together if you have to really solve the real problems of the world. So our earlier DG, Dr. Balram Bhargav, thought that ICMR as the custodian of biomedical research should come out with entrepreneurship policy for medical professionals. And this policy, I was fortunate enough to be part of this policy drafting and presenting it before the HFM. So this policy is now, it's a national policy which is used by all the medical institutes and colleges across the country. And the other three ones on the right side are also very recent policies on IP. So our team drafted intellectual property policy.
I was part of that.
Yes, sir. And policy for technology development collaboration, CSR policy and guidelines for industry engagement. So these are also now being well drafted and were recently launched by Honorable Minister of MOS, MED alumni in a recent Research Excellence Summit which was held in September last year. All these policies were formally announced and they are now on our website. So that's the policy part of it. Now coming to the funding opportunities, I'm sure this will be of most interest to the people in this room that for fostering biomedical research, the kind of grants now which ICMR is giving is exceptionally good. And among them, the smallest ticket size of funding that we give now is 1 crore. 1 crore, 1 CR is the smallest ticket size. We consider, because for fostering biomedical research, you need big money. We have to give money to the biomedical researchers so that they can try. And if we give funding to 10 people or maybe 20 institutes, maybe 1 or 2 would succeed in developing some kind of product, and others I would also not say have failed because they might have taken the biomedical research to the next level. So this current DG thought that unless you give good money to the biomedical researchers across the country, we will not be able to see good results. Sir, you will be pleased to know, Dr. Das, that now intramural and extramural arm is absolutely separate. We have watertight compartments between intramural, extramural. The extramural ticket size is 2,000 crore plus every year annually that we give, and intramural research is relatively less because it is also for focused research. Every institute is now writing proposals. They also have to compete among the scientists within the institutes so that there is a central monitoring mechanism and we see some tangible results. That is the ultimate objective, that the public money which is being given to foster research is also able to deliver some kind of a research advancement or products. And we should have a clear accountability of the input and the output, like you are also doing here.
Return on investment.
Right. Return on investment is, we are also very, very keen, and everything is interestingly now absolutely transparent. Everything is happening through the online portals. And we have a small grant of up to 2 crores, which is primarily for technology development. The ticket size is this, and this is a small project for 3 years. Intermediate grant is primarily for multicentric studies. So we would expect that in intermediate grant, the technology should be almost ready and you should be trying engaging with multiple clinical study sites and proposing a clinical study, a multicentric clinical study under intermediate grant. And the Center for Advanced Research is the model which is very close to our team. And I'll be telling you, sir, from the vision when we started MDMS and where we are now. We have set up various centers of advanced research for validating those technologies which came out from IIT ecosystem. And the ticket size of Advanced Center for Advanced Research is very big, up to 15 crores. And the kind of proposals that I have approved from our team is basically we are trying to look at multiple technologies coming together under one umbrella. So the institute should be doing advanced research and multiple technologies are clubbed together, and the outcome, the deliverable has to be completely done. It should not be work in progress. So what we are expecting from CAR is not just work in progress. We believe that after the giving this much money, a bunch of products should be taken to the next level. That is from the product perspective, but from research perspective also, we have funded some proposals wherein it is not all translational, but they are trying to address a very important problem, which is linked with the national health priority. So, but the outcomes have to be very, very well defined in these proposals, and they should be more tangible. Then there is also
This we have given to only IITs.
no, sir.
No.
Lot of centers now we have created for
So
validation.
that's we should also apply for this.
Yeah, that is
We'll discuss, but
discuss. There are a lot of reservations because as the ICMR has increased, as you told, very correct, grant has increased and the money has increased. The number of projects have been given and the amount of money per grant is also increased. But there is a problem with the few things problem is that it is not properly distributed to on the basis of the work done or the proposed project. But it is mostly in some way it is going to only to the medical institutes, majority to the medical and clinical institutes. And as you know, in Indian situation, that the clinicians, we have a good physician and clinicians, but good research is not from the clinical background, it comes from the basic scientists. And ICMR, one should understand ICMR is the Indian Council of Medical Research. It's a medical research, not a clinical research. Then it goes to the DHR, DGHS. That hospitals are under that. But research that can be goes to clinics or the hospitals as well as to the basic science institutes. And what these private institutes is not. And if you look at the pre-Dr. Bahal era, ICMR project, I think we had at least every call, we have at least 30 to 40 projects in MIT itself. Because that should be on the basis of what I mean to say is it is not a criticism, but it is basis of the thing that it should be on the basis of the type of project proposed. And sincere research comes from the universities and other places or the research institutes. So that is, and one more thing in the fellowships that is very affecting the research is that the SRF has been stopped, which was an excellent program of the ICMR, Senior Research Fellowships.
So basically, from what I have been, the way we have been evaluating, you'll be surprised. Maybe I can share with you all that the grant proposals we review without knowing the name of the institute. They are masked. When they are given to us for evaluation, the name of the institute is masked. We do not know
whether it's private, government.
We do not know. Particularly the system of evaluation of the extramural grants is becoming better and better day by day.
Very good.
And our DG is personally seeing how the conflict of interest can be resolved and minimized. And interestingly, in fact, we would tell him that we should know the name of the institute because the institutional capability also we need to see. But from some grants, this year grants which I have reviewed, I do not know what is the name of the institute. We are completely evaluating them on the basis of merit. But for the advanced research, it's a very, very diligent process. 3-4 rounds of evaluation goes into it. We have clear criteria of marking, very transparent, on which we have to mark. Internally, the scientist has to mark, then it has to be reviewed by a preliminary evaluation will happen through a bunch of external experts. Then there will be detailed evaluation by a bunch of experts and then DG interaction. So there are 4 rounds of evaluation before a big research grant like CAR is given, and full commitment is taken from them for delivering the product. So I am really motivated to see how in-depth understanding and hold on the money to be disbursed only to the institutes who are committed to deliver is being given. And of course, sir, if you have All these things keep on coming.
Telling actually still, I don't know, in India, in the ICMR also, there is a kind of mindset of that is project to go totally product based or clinical trial based.
सर एक और चीज भी आपको मैं बताती हूँ, हमारे जो करंट बॉस है ना, बिकॉज ही इज फ्रॉम अब्रॉड, वो बहुत ज्यादा स्टैट्स भी करते हैं. तो हम ये भी इवैल्यूएट करते रहते हैं हर मीटिंग में. इट्स वेरी ट्रांसपेरेंट वे ऑफ.
He is very intelligent. I have interacted.
नहीं सर, मैं ये.
But he has a mentality. He will not deviate from there.
इंजीनियरिंग इंस्टीट्यूट बहुत पैसा जा रहा है. टॉप इंस्टीट्यूट्स को एक बार में अगर इंडिपेंडेंटली इवैल्यूएट करें तो पता लगता है कि वो किस तरह से स्प्रेड हुआ.
That's why what we were telling, Dr. Salomon was telling, here we do things.
Right, sir.
There is a outcome director sitting.
Yes, sir.
What is the outcome? Because the question is that I have
I
given,
think it's similar.
I have
I
given
think we are doing
1
similar
crore money,
thing.
1 crore grant, small grant. I have given 10 crores. I have spent whole life in ICMR. I started as RO. You do not know my history.
Yes,
I
sir.
started as RO in the research officer,
Yes.
and I retired as director
Yes.
of the same institute. So, and I was the first selected director, because till before that all are temporary. There was no positions.
Yes.
So, and after that what I did, everybody knows. That's why the NICPR is now, that was ICQ earlier.
Yes.
The NICPR is famous everywhere.
So I think systems are evolving. We'll definitely take your suggestions and see how.
We'll discuss it afterwards.
Yes, sir. So
Now you proceed
Yes,
with
sir.
your.
So we also have first in the world challenge, wherein we do not want that our country should be seen as making Me Too products. We should also be doing something which is first in the world. So basically, well thought out strategies are being laid out so as to see how India can move forward as a leading biomedical research organization, and we can deliver. So coming to the second pillar of the ecosystem on how you build an innovation ecosystem, you should definitely have an appropriate infrastructure put in place. So we do not believe that it is only ICMR institutes which is our infrastructure for biomedical research, fostering biomedical research. Institutes are definitely the nodal points of developing or fostering biomedical research. We have to build that ecosystem in the entire country. So since the mandate of ICMR is fostering biomedical research, medical colleges are close to our heart because we are mandated to help them out. And we have 146 virus research disease laboratory across the country, which were helpful in evaluating diagnostic kits during COVID times. We also have set up research the MRUs and MRHRUs in all pan-India medical colleges across the country in urban and rural settings, so that if there is any kind of biomedical research required in any part of the country, through our institutes and these MRUs, MRHRUs, which are model research units, MRHRUs are there in the rural areas, so that we have the infrastructure ready. For HD, as I mentioned, we also have research centers across the country who help. So the hub is at one place, DHR headquarters, but whatever we do is through the partners. Coming to the flagship initiatives of ICMR, in which I have been instrumental and working very closely with the higher ups. And MDMS is what Sir was talking about, the Medical Device and Diagnostics Mission Secretariat, which is an upscaled model of the SIB program, the Stanford India Biodesign program, which is a small project which was started by Dr. Bhargav when he was working at AIMS for DBT, for promoting entrepreneurship development in the country. There, what we could see in the last 10-15 years of our working in this program, that innovators would be able to develop technologies, but they would not be able to validate those technologies. They would not be able to get any access to the markets. So innovators would struggle after development of the technologies. So we started this MDMS to provide structured hand-holding support to medtech innovators across the country in a mission mode. We thought that we will give a holistic support to the sector by having this multi-pronged approach, that we will be doing anything and everything to see how the medtech sector can be fostered. But with brainstorming discussions with the stakeholders, we thought that wherever we have the strength of ICMR, we should support more. So we should be working more on the policy advocacy, developing the enabling policies, we should be working more on the preclinical evaluation of technologies wherein ICMR has strength. And we should also be working more on the HTA part or market access part of the technologies wherein we have strength. So we thought that let's not start and support technologies which are early stage technologies, which are pre-proof of concept technologies. Can we talk to can we fund some innovators where they have some technologies which are aligned with the national programs, where we know where we can impact, where we have strategic collaborative strengths, and then ICMR should have skin in the game. We should be working with them hand to hand, and see how we can take them to the next level. So this is how our thinking evolved, that we should be trying to work with innovators who have prototypes in place, and ICMR should work on the other part of the fostering value, taking the innovators to the next level by supporting them with preclinical, clinical studies, HTA, and uptake of new products. And then we should also try to bring on board industry, so that there should be a stage wherein we transfer the technology to industry.
I have a question.
Sure.
Like, you mentioned about the POC.
Right.
So we have biosensors that I just trying to explore in the mind. So it's a platform technology. We're talking about
Meenakshi, you can speak to the mic.
multiple technology. So it's a platform technology. So my question to you, like for POC, what should be the sample size?
It's a very subjective question because it will all depend upon technology to technology.
Yeah.
So let me explain you in our case, like
That is very specific.
Only 2 seconds, because we are dealing with Pivotron for this. For direct pay CRS scheme, where the POC is the eligibility criteria. So this platform technology is proven on 5 blood samples, serum samples. Spiked are many, but the real blood sample, or you can say the serum sample, were 5. So according to us, this is the POC. But when I spoke to Pivotron people, they are saying, "Oh, ma'am, do you know the size of the sample for the POC?" I said, "You tell me." He said, "It is at least 25 to 30. I said, "Where it is written?"
No, Meenakshi, it needs a proper statistics based on the evidence.
That's why I'm asking her.
Yeah, so
she must be knowing better.
It's not 25 to 30 number.
It's a decent number.
Yeah.
25 to 30 is a decent number, and the minimum number for the statistics.
Anyway, let us not go into specific Asian names also.
You know that depends on product to product.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Sample
but
size has to be there.
POC is a platform technology. It has to be linked with some kind of a disease indication. POC for what? The intended use statement of the device needs to be specified very well. And sir is there, so you need to see what is the disease prevalence. There is a proper mechanism to identify what is the appropriate sample size.
Yes.
So it cannot be answered in a like that.
By a number.
And also, you should.
Well, your question is right, but we know we are dealing day in and day out. It differs from the product.
For troponin I, sir.
Huh?
For troponin I.
Troponin.
Then it is right.
No,
Depending on
prevalence,
the disease and all, then the prevalence, it has a particular formula to have the sample size.
Anyway, we will discuss it.
And also, it should combine with the pre-code. That's very important.
No, you require the written report.
Yeah, that's important.
Okay. Then the first, abstract itself is a report.
Yeah.
Please.
Yes, sir. So basically, we have lot of schemes under MDMS as well. When we this MDMS unit was conceptualized, we had written lot of schemes were there independent of ICMR when we envisaged MDMS, and the schemes were drafted in such a way that we are able to support innovators from at any stage of the product development. But as we move forward, we thought that let's have a structured approach and try to do an experiment on what our philosophy is, that does it work in the real world setting. So a very big program of setting up of centers of excellence at IITs and IIT-like institutes was initiated, when sir was also there as part of that initiative. What we could understand during COVID times was that IITs have a very good capability of developing technologies, but sometimes they do not know what the public health wants, what the government wants. So maybe if we work together with them, because ICMR knows what is needed by the national health programs, innovators in the IIT ecosystem knows how to develop technologies. So we have complementary strengths. They do not know how to write broadly. They do not know how to evaluate those technologies. How to write a clinical study protocol that ICMR knows very well because we have strength in that area. They do not know how to approach the government for procurement of the products because their products generally do not reach that stage. So there also we have strength. So this was the vision that if we can talk to the IITs, we can go to those institutes, sit with them, and look at the startup ecosystem that they have, because we cannot give funding directly to the startups, but we can give it to the IITs. But we were very much interested to see their innovation ecosystem, work with the startups sitting there and connect them with the medical institutes of ICMR and see if together if we can make an impact. So this program went very, very well. And we had set up centers of excellence at 7 IITs across the country, all leading IITs of that time. And the clear mandate was that we have to together foster development of technologies which are orientation with the national health programs or PM Ayushman Bharat Health and Wellness Centers. Now we call them as Ayushman Bharat Arogya Mandir.
I think about NLT University, Hyderabad, also in Haryana. Yes, sir.
Yes.
And we have one COE appointed by ICMR.
That's great, sir. So COE and CAR are different. COE was a 100 crore plus project wherein we had set up centers specifically in IIT like institutes. CARS is an ongoing process which we do every year.
That is CARS, what you are talking about.
Center for Advanced Research. So this experiment, nobody knew, but it is going very, very well, sir. These IITs, we could work with lot of startups sitting within these IITs, and we could identify some of the technologies which could be of potential interest to us. When these IITs had to put in proposals, they had to show very clear collaboration with medical institutes. So the proposal has to come as part of interdisciplinary research. So they should not be working in isolation. They should have collaboration with a medical institute wherein they can show that they will be able to validate those technologies. And this IITs, we didn't know that we are going to touch the CEO of the startup sitting there, actually working on those technologies. Most of them are faculty-driven startups. So then we could work with those huge lot of startups incubated within these IITs. And then one day I was traveling with DG going to IIT Kanpur, and he would say, why you have been supporting a lot of technology, but we can't see products coming to the market. Where are you struggling? So that candid talk led to a very greater impact, where now we have set up centers of Center for Advanced Research for validating these technologies at leading medical institutes across the country. So what we are now doing, bunch of technologies coming from mix of IITs, which have been hand chosen by us. It's a very interesting project, which is not fixed. Fixed technologies are not there in this project. Every year we will go there and sit with them 1 day, 2 days, and their startups would come and present their technologies. Our healthcare experts will be sitting there, and we will be choosing technologies which are aligned with the programs, and then giving them hand-holding support. Once we are now also providing them regulatory strategy hand-holding, because they were mostly developing prototypes. They would not know how to develop regulatory compliant products. Now we have set up centers for clinically validating these technologies at various medical institutes across the country, like Safdarjung Hospital. We have set up a center for validating IUDs. One at AIMS we have set up. One for dental technologies we have set up at Maulana Azad Institute. At AFMC we have set up. So much more bigger number of 13 centers we have created for validating these technologies.
Very good.
One center we have set up for testing these technologies at AMTZ. So the strength of the entire country we have been trying to put on board.
Including the bigger animal studies.
Large animal studies. We have set up a center at
AMTZ.
AMTZ, we have set up that center. And BITS is also, even private sector is now there. We have now set up one car at BITS Pilani in collaboration with LV Prasad Institute. So it's not that just government institutes are being supported.
He said one in Amici also.
One in Amici is also there. So it's a very independent process which is happening. But I'm pleased to tell, sir, St. John Hospital also there is one center that it's not just technology development, but validation centers are also now there. And I'll tell you about MedTech Mitra on how each and every technology is given personalized hand-holding support for regulatory strategies.
Very good.
That I have recently experienced with the medical survey.
Okay, that's great. So just to give you an idea of some of the technologies which are important and interesting to ICMR as part of the national health programs. You can see the first one on the right. It is a technology which is a paper strip based assay for Anemia Mukt Bharat, wherein Anemia Mukt Bharat is a mission, is a very important mission of our country, wherein we need to evaluate hemoglobin of the patients, and we wanted a point of care technology which is accurate.
And screening.
For screening, and in fact, the vision that came from the NITI was that it should be non-invasive technology. So we are also evaluating non-invasive hemoglobinometers.
Suchendra has got a proposal.
And this minimally invasive
optical imaging.
That's great. And minimally invasive hemoglobinometer by virtue of a strip and QR based reading is being evaluated by ICMR. This was developed by an innovator in IIT Kharagpur. One device you can see, sir, I think you were there when we did this meeting for calling the IITs and telling them that we need a hand-held X-ray device for TB screening.
Yes.
So one of the IIT took that mission and they are developing this product. One product you can see, the third one is point of care technology for eye screening. Yes, and we also have another one for maternal and child health care screening, wherein there is a very small coin-sized product which can be put at the bottom of the foot of the neonate, and it will monitor all the vitals of the child. So it's a good fit for maternal and child health program of the country.
See, why we did this, the tertiary hospitals and all that, very few are available. For a population like ours and the topography of our country, remote areas, so accessibility. So we thought we should develop more screening tools rather than only specialized. Like, for example, instead of mammogram, can we use infrared thermogram? So that you do a large-scale screening, the doubtful cases, bring it to the tertiary hospital. So that is how the diagnostics we gave non-invasive screening tools.
This is
and
another
now
example.
we can add AI.
Yeah, this is another example of tools for cervical cancer screening. Sir is very well aware that for cervical cancer screening, you need a technician to prepare the slides. Preparing the slides is also an technology intensive process. You need trained people, and then again, for screening tool, it's very difficult to prepare the pap smear.
You need a pathologist to
read it. So this IIT Delhi team has developed two products. One is for automatic staining of the slides for cervical cancer screening, and the other one is AI-driven scope for evaluating and reading those slides and for doing the preliminary screening of those slides and telling that this is being trained through the data from NIPR.
Funded by ICMR.
Yes, sir.
I went for another screening, IIT Delhi only.
Yes, sir.
The group is different. That is on that is funded with BIRAC.
Okay.
So I go most of the cervical cancer things, but
Right, sir.
in ICPR, ICPO, when I developed a method that is there, still there. It is published in Lancet and all. It is there. It's called Magna Visualizer.
Okay, great.
So that is a light source is given.
Yes.
Then the visual inspection, if the social worker is well trained, so as it is in the NICPR,
Yes.
they are well trained. So they can visually 90% they can 70% they can diagnose.
Right.
But if you have instead of corpuscle, so it's a mini illumination system, and it's a very small unit, battery operated. It can be, it's a POC, you can say. And you do the 5% or 4% acetic acid applications, and then you see, not by visual, with the lens is put and the light source is there. So you can very easily, 90% you can detect that whether he is having any lesions or not in the early screening. mainly, very easy screening, and that like magna visualizer cost only 10,000.
This I was the chairman of the committee for technology commercialization of this technology also. Ravi Mehrotra was the
Ravi
director.
Mehrotra later on he took over because he took
the actual
over
person developed
immediately after me, because he.
So we have transferred your technology.
So basically, sir, the vision of our DG is that we should have a bouquet of technologies to offer, because the needs of the country are huge. So therefore, we are trying to support multiple technologies in one area, and you never know which one is picked by the program, which one is able to pass the test of the field. So that's how we are not stopping at one technology, but every contribution means a lot in the public health ecosystem. And I have mentioned here that nothing is happening in isolation. Best of the institutes are being tied up. Like NICPR is the collaborator for validating this technology. They are only giving the data set for training the AI tools. And you can see the kind of collaboration which has gone into developing this kind of technology, and the hand-holding ICMR has given. The technology development would happen through the IIT ecosystem. Then testing of this technology, we gave them hand-holding support for regulatory strategy as part of MedTech Mitra. Then testing of the technology will be happening at AMTZ for this product. So that's again one help that is being extended to the team, and then linking them with NICPR to get the getting access to the right data is mandatory thing for training the AI tool, and the data should be taken from the experts. So NICPR is a collaborator. Without them, we would also not get the confidence that it is being done appropriately.
You need data sets.
Yeah, so they are a collaborator to this team, and Safdarjung Hospital is also being a partner to this field. They will be validating this technology independently. NICPR will be helping them to train the tool, and Safdarjung Hospital will be validating it independently, and then we will be giving it to the HTS.
See, in fact, Dr. M.K. Datta, who is in charge of AI, he has done exactly research on this AI application for screening. How do you use it as the expert support system? So I think we can get his paper here, or maybe after this we can come here to discuss that part of cancer cervix. He has done work. Yeah, please. You can also keep eating in between.
I'm enjoying.
Yes.
So basically now there are two very good initiatives that are being there open to all the public of the country, and I'll be very happy to share it with the committee faculty. We are very proud of these initiatives because ICMR was not earlier open to the innovators openly. We were more working to help the sites. But with this MedTech Mitra initiative, now any innovator, any individual can take help of this initiative. I'll come back to this slide maybe later. The vision is that this is a typical technology development pathway. It will start with identify, invent, implement, wherein you will identify some kind of an unmet need, look at the solution space, try to develop POCs, and then develop some kind of a product, do its validation, get regulatory strategy and productive use. But typically it doesn't happen. What happens in particularly in academic settings or in the startup settings, that they would develop an innovation and they will be able to get funding to develop it till the proof of concept. But when it comes to converting that prototype or a product into regulation compliant, it becomes very, very difficult because the products are very close to them. They would believe that they can do it, but we thought the Niti Aayog, ICMR and CDSU thought that we need to work with innovators, give them hand-holding support and take them through these valleys of death and ultimately convert this bag of POCs into commercializable products and for use by people at large. So we see by a typical innovator that fresh funding would come again, we will develop some product in POCs and the proof of concepts will get bucketed and into one window and we will not be able to see products in use. So that was the vision and of Dr. Paul and Niti Aayog and CDSO, our DG, that these are some of the valleys of death where an innovator gets stuck. And as the technology advances to the next stage, these valleys of death get deeper and broader. And it becomes more and more difficult for the innovator to go forward and make that prototype into commercial product. And these are the typical challenges which we brainstormed and understood that would be the key things if we can support and not give information to the innovators, but rather work with them together as a team. We will be able to make that impact.
I think I have to do, there is a recent initiative by ICMR. They are making a atlas of the innovation. I presented my innovation in the TB innovation.
Yes, TB Innovation Summit. Yes, sir.
March. We are not a
Just pass it on.
No, this is okay.
Are you?
So this refer to our clinical trial, which is getting perspective now with the med support.
Yes, sir.
With Dr. Chopra,
Yes,
Dr. Chopra. So I think we have before my interaction with Mathemitra on 13th of March, we displayed the technology in Bharat Mandapam on
Yes,
18th of 18th
Right.
of March against election.
Great.
So there were 4 categories of the innovation: detect, diagnose, treat. So we are in the treat.
Wow.
And I'm happy to announce here that there is the treat category. There were only 7 innovations, post-directed innovation. So we are one of them. So we are heading for this.
Why don't you explain this later?
Yes, this I will explain later. But there is a big where you can search the atlas, all the innovation, all the innovators. So I think there was an email from the DG ICMR, I think 2 weeks back. So they have now the catalog of this innovator together. So there were around 97 innovators, which have been communicated and connected in the group. So there are around 97. So I think this is a fantastic initiative
Yes,
of ICMR.
That's great, sir.
Very good.
Great.
Yes, ma'am.
Great, sir. So basically, sir, the innovators would not know that if you have to take a technology for clinical validation or preclinical validation, it has to be developed for a drug, it has to be developed into a GMP compliant facility, or for a device, the QMS compliant facility has to be there. So it cannot happen in the in-house lab. They have to tie up with some kind of a manufacturer and develop those test batches which can go into preclinical clinical studies. So this is one part. Testing is another requirement. Regulatory is another requirement from the second value of death. And third one, the preclinical clinical study planning. Innovators generally lag in developing those protocols and conducting a study which is well acceptable by the government.
See, I want to mention just sorry,
Sure,
you can eat
sure, sir,
something
sure,
there in the
Yes,
meantime.
sir, it's perfectly
No, please,
fine.
please. See, most of our people are doing outstanding basic research. They publish in top quality journals, but then the product will come from other country. They will look at all our publications and all that. Surveyman has got this. So how do I carry out a clinical trials and put it in the market? So they will do that. So now we want to change this. Why this paradigm change in the research support coming to projects of ICMR is we want deliverable. Our resources are very limited. We cannot keep on only publishing papers, high quality and top basic research. And then now the whole focus is deliverable. What is the product you will give to the patient and community? If that is visible, that is being supported. So that is the change which the DG has brought in. Naturally, because Atmanirbhar Bharat is the whole focus. So that is why, so please understand, reorient yourself and also bring a focus. When you are doing basic research, it's okay. But also take it further to the other next level, protecting your IPR. So that's the message. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Actually, just to add here,
Yes,
when
sir.
I was interacting with the Mathemitra tech online,
Yes,
I
sir.
got so much satisfaction, so much satisfied.
That's great.
They were so keen and supportive in the new technology.
Yes.
And Dr. Taruna Madan, I am actually one of the co-chair of the committee there,
Okay.
the development section. So
Okay.
she's supporting like anything.
Right. That's great.
And Madhu Chopra was there, Dr. Alpana was there. So I think there were 7 or 8 people who
Yes.
were known to me.
Right.
So they all actually supported positive, very positive. So I'm in the GMP level. We are getting to the NFPAR
Great.
Hyderabad
Okay.
for just doing some toxicity analysis in
Right.
GMP lab. Once it is done, then we are ready.
Very nice. That's nice.
Yeah, please
So
continue.
basically, sir, vision यही था इसमें कि when it started, तो यही था कि theory नहीं करना. Basically, we have to now give hand-holding support. We have to work with the innovator and take them, we partner to them. So this is what ICMR is doing very differently, that we hear from the innovators also that funding is one aspect. Hand holding is really, really important if we have to bring that change. We don't have to have that blame game of aapne ye nahi kiya, wo nahi kiya. Ye hai ki let's do it together for the country as Team
Very
India.
good, very good. Very good. Because otherwise it's just not funding agency. They are now seeing that how do we bring this product quickly into the market.
Right.
All the A to Z related to that, starting from the ideas to ideation to the product.
Right.
Actually, during the valedictorian session of this TB summit, this
Right,
was the maximum emphasized.
Right.
This was emphasized maximally.
Dr.
Where people were there from Kerala,
Yes.
from Hyderabad, for IIT Chennai, whom I know a couple of people, so they all emphasized to put the innovation together and
Right.
make a tunnel.
Right.
Make a tunnel to then support the innovator for coming, for helping them to reach their target.
Yes, sir. That's nice. So basically, how we do it through our partners. We have tried to put in all the right partners working together who are working in silos now. Everybody is working together. They are all the knowledge partners. Basically, ICMR and CDSU along with NITI are the core members. The Deputy Drug Controller Device and Diagnostics, they will sit with us in every meeting that we do. That is a strong commitment from the CDSU because it is the first hurdle. Which the innovators feel they are really lost on how to develop a regulation compliant products. Then AMTZ is there for doing pre-compliance gap analysis and testing, CDSU for regulatory strategy. Then ICMR NARF, our own institute is there.
AMTC is the Advanced Medical Technology Zone.
Andhra Pradesh, the medtech zone.
So here everything is there, right? From standards, material testing, right up to the devices testing, everything.
So we have set up one big center there.
Jitendra Sharma is
there. For testing of devices. So if some innovator has to test their devices, they have to just come to us and we will be paying to AMTZ. A big center has been set up there. Likewise, ICMR Intent Network of clinical study sites has been.
So Tiku Basu, you must now look at how do we take your bio.
Yes, so that is the thing.
Nanosensor, biosensor which you have developed.
We have come up such
Go to it.
Yes, so I think I'll maybe quickly wrap up because so that we can have more time for discussions. Yes, sir. So basically, sir, these are all our partners. You all are aware. Data Innovation Mission entire network is now part of this ecosystem. As I mentioned, Bureau of Indian Standards, KIST, AMTZ, all are together. For preclinical, we have, as sir has already mentioned, we have set up one center, large animal trial at AMTZ, and ICMR NARF is 100-acre plus facility for all kind of animal studies, be it small animal, large animal, can be conducted there. ICMR intent sites, the clinical trial sites which we developed during COVID have been ramped up. We have now 75 sites. So if you have to do validation through MedTech Mitra, we will be sending your technology to the funding will be given to the clinical study site. Our team will be helping you develop clinical study protocol and conducting the study with ICMR money. So you don't need to now look for annual funding which comes to you. Through MedTech Mitra, it can be at any time of the year. You can use this opportunity to, but you should have some kind of check. Go ahead. Basically, the technology should be ready for extending support. And HTA is again, it was working in silos at the Department of Health Research. Now, MedTech Mitra can recommend technologies to HTA, and HTA would be doing cost evaluation, effectiveness study for your technology and recommend products for public health procurement. HTA is also done through different centers, 20 centers across the country. So, in nutshell, we have the facilities for developing technologies, testing, preclinical, clinical, HTA. So, the entire ecosystem is now built together. And how you have to approach us is just by click of a button. You need to fill an application and you will be seeing us all sitting together talking one-on-one with the innovator. So that's the beauty of MedTech Mitra. Even our DG would sometimes come 2 hours, 3 hours, he will be sitting and talking to the innovators. So this is a really good, interesting way we interact with innovators and provide. And
also they give patronage to indigenously developed system through your national mission.
Right, sir. So these are some of the testimonials I'll just give. A recent initiative which came up was that MedTech Mitra was there, but there was, we would be doing lot of funding. There is lot of funding through different government agencies. MedTech Mitra primarily helps innovators. And innovators, if they have to develop regulation compliant device or diagnostics, generally they should become a startup or they should license the technology to some company because they know this business much better than what academicians do. And maybe they should work together with the industry so that the technology which is acceptable by the public health at large should be done in collaboration with the industry. So there, this gap was being visualized by in the medtech innovation ecosystem that we have funding, we have medtech mitra, but how do we motivate innovators to file patents, protect their IP, transfer the technology to companies, and then come to medtech mitra? They are much better, but much better off. The probability of the success would increase. So recently, this Patent Mitra as a recent initiative was launched by the Honorable HFM a few months back. This is also being led by our team, wherein we are providing hand-holding support to innovators for patent filing and technology transfer, both. Here we have a team built in-house for doing IP evaluation of the innovation. We do patentability assessment. We have a team, a very big team now hired under my team, wherein we do patentability assessment and only quality patents we will file application. This was launched recently by Honorable HFM and DG was also there, Secretary and Niti was also there. And I'll just tell you that it has two arms, patent assessment, patent filing and tech transfer. We will facilitate both these things and again, this is an initiative which is being launched in partnership with Department of Pharma and Patent Office. This plane is just to tell you that it is not just anybody and everyone who is working on your patents. You need to have trust on us. This is the plane which we call as the crew, Patent Mitra crew, wherein you have the wings. We have Department of Pharma as one of the wings. We have MedTech Mitra. It has clear alignment with the MedTech Mitra. We have DPIIT being partner to this initiative. The Patent Controller General was himself with us and he has given us full commitment. In fact, when we, and there are a lot of patent agents and registered tech transfer professionals in my team, and we have a panel of attorneys of 10 law firms. So 350 plus, we also have the strength of 350 plus patent agents through these law firms. So what I want to say to all of you is that it's not just biomedical scientists helping you out with patent drafting and tech transfers. It is best of the professionals who will be working on this job and for a quality patent application to be filed and transferred. And we had just shown this plane during the launch and the patent controller himself said that this plane cannot fly unless you have this Indian Patent Office as the runway for this plane to fly. And then we introduced this runway on his demand that we should have Indian Patent Office as key collaborator to this initiative. And he has extended all his, he said that he will be giving all the support to train people, to support in whichever way to build this ecosystem in the country for patent filing.
Actually, Dr. Suchita, we also have a very strong IPR portfolio here.
Yes, sir.
90 patents.
Yes,
that's the number.
Sir.
So we have Dr. Smita Sahu. I will also request her to interact with you.
Sure, sir.
So that anything which we can synergize from Amity, we will also look at.
Yes, sir. So basically here the scope is for three.
This note I would like to add.
Yes, sir.
If this team is flexible enough to work with the institutions like Amity, I think we can set up a bilateral association where the patent which we are filing, we are claiming should go to your team, get pre-evaluated, and then get further channeled down. So this.
Sir, this is again
and maybe even in commercialization.
Yes.
Sir, this is basically
our patent joint collaboration. It's with ICMR.
Yes,
We are just drafting it. We have sent the draft and now checking it. And
sir, ma'am, basically let me re-emphasize that this portal, Patent Mitra portal, like MedTech Mitra, is open to everybody. Patent Mitra is being the offer of Patent Mitra is as of now to 3 arms. All ICMR institutes, intramural arm, all ICMR extramural grantees who have received grant from ICMR. Like you mentioned, against the project which has been funded by ICMR, you will have to put in that number, grant application number, and this window will become open for you. And third, all medical colleges and institutes across the country. As of now, In phase 2, we will open it up for startups because we thought
that is can individual applications can go, but our system is a completely different system and a huge system in place.
Yes, sir.
So what you are telling, it is very nicely named and all, and it is as a funding agency, it is doing very good job. But we have a very established system of patents. Even if we do not do anything, you have a concept only, just write or phone and it is done within a week. Your provisional things are filed immediately and there is a dedicated group. And then transfers is there.
Yes,
so which is mature.
We can learn from each other.
TRL 3, 4, 5, 3 above 3 and above 5, 6, 7. She is there to.
Sir, institutes like MET and engineering institutes know very well how to draft a patent, file a patent. It's not there in medical colleges and institutes. So they would really get struggled. They would find it very difficult to draft or file a patent application. And I have not shown you the statistics. We went through the statistics. The number of patent applications which have been filed in the biomedical domain are very, very minuscule. So
mostly engineering.
So our mandate is that maybe we can increase it to 8 to 10 folds in 4 or 5 years. That's the target.
But
the biomedical domain.
Pharma is very, very big and very complicated and so many things are.
Ma'am, now things have changed. Things have changed. If you go to this, now you don't have to send an email or physical paper. Patent Mitra bhara hai. You have to log into the Patent Mitra portal and standard invention disclosure form you have to fill like you do in MET. It's relatively now much simpler. And everything is trackable because online system we have created now. वो पहले revamp ही हुआ है ITR ecosystem. ITR पूरा change ही हो गया.
My main intention of this bridge, making a bridge, is to enhance escalate the process of getting patent granted because if we already have very strong patent group, but when it sends to the patent office, it gets lined up and it gets lost sometimes. We have to wait. PI has to wait for a very long period of time.
So you can just go to this.
But is there a system that if it is filed through Patent Mitra, there will be jumping the queue in the patent office?
Sir, jumping the queue तो नहीं है, बस ये है कि वो वैसा नहीं है. ये है कि इंट्राम्यूरल एक्सट्राम्यूरल ग्रांटीज पहले स्ट्रगल करते थे. तो वो एक ऑनलाइन सिस्टम क्रिएट
बहुत अच्छा हुआ है जैसे ICMR इंस्टीट्यूट नॉट कॉम्पिटिटर एट ऑल फॉर अस.
हां नो सर एक्सट्राम्यूरल ग्रांटीज भी सर जैसे आपके जो भी हैं
ग्रांटेड. Can you invite Dr. Smita Sahu to come afterwards?
It is also an online system, sir. You have to just log into the patent portal and
Meenakshi,
you have an application to be filled and it will come to us and we will be evaluating it by doing a patentability assessment and talking to you. So basically these are some of the glimpses of the products which have come through ICMR. I think maybe I can stop here and open it for discussions. Please.
So friends, now it's all yours. Now I would like Dr. Das to initiate the discussion, or he will come at the end.
I have to go early, but you can start from there.
Okay. Okay. Just I have another query regarding something I found that is a medical device related research in India. Because how the ICMR is initiating on that.
Medical device based research.
It is all about that. What she is.
So you have to just
status of this.
Sir, revenues are open through the open call. So basically you have to write in proposal and let me tell you the technologies which are aligned with the national health programs. There are 12 national health priorities, communicable diseases, non-communicable diseases. They are preferred to others. And the technologies which have a good translational value, who are advanced in their TRL, are also very well supported. If you have a device already ready with you and you want to do a trial, then again another kind of scheme called intermediate grant would be helpful.
Okay.
MET as a whole, Third is MET as a whole, if you are able to find out some good technologies, make a bunch of it and see their alignment with the national program. A Center for Advanced Research can be put. So it is all the wisdom of
cancer biology. You can
the wisdom of the institute, how to work together and bring things together and avail this opportunity.
Sure. Right, Simran.
And through MedTech Mitra also, sir, even if you're not given a grant as part of the annual funding of ICMR, through MedTech Mitra, you can come and get guidance 101 for your invention. From regulatory strategy perspective, if you have an advanced technology like sir has, we can also help you out with conducting studies. It can be preclinical study, clinical study, drafting a protocol, anything can be done through portal, this MedTech Mitra portal.
Okay.
No application will go unattended. We may take some time because
that is putting me on nerve.
Sir, let me tell you, sir, since 2023 December we launched this initiative. 400 plus innovators we have talked to.
Great.
Every 15 days we are meeting. So the volume of problems in the country are huge, sir. You need to understand. So
I understand the rules.
500 plus applications we have received in 2 years, and we do not leave any innovator with whom we don't talk. 2-3 times we talk to one innovator.
And hand holding all through.
Right.
It's good thing to listen and everything is fine. But ultimately, what is coming in the market, it is to be seen.
Now we will see.
India is far behind than which we hate our neighbor China. So, barring aside the US and other things, it's good, but it's good. Time will take, it will come.
Yes, sir.
To start it. But certainly we have to go a long way.
Definitely.
So all of us should gear up to that requirement. That is what your mindset should change now.
Yes.
That baby steps we are taking.
Because in the last year, in the 2024, I was visiting one place, MVR Hospital in Kerala.
Right.
Well, they are making, even showing the doctors showing different devices of the medical devices, nano-based especially. But how they will work with the scientists, they don't know properly. That's why I just asked you the question, because how I was asking that is regarding the scaffold, our trial on the in vitro and ex vivo trial on the, but they are not that much contact with them. So ICMR can, that's why I'm asking, that is the correlation.
So basically what is happening, we are trying to spread the word. We are trying to have lot of sessions like on 15th also we have a workshop going on. We keep on reaching out, but the ultimately effort has to be taken by the innovator. We cannot go to every
Exactly. It is we. See, government and the department can only facilitate. People have to work. So you have to push them.
Now it's an online
pull
portal.
them.
It's not that
One has to take the opportunity.
and the portal is on.
They can create the ecosystem, policies and funding, but then ultimately who has to deliver is you. We have to deliver.
So in fact, what we see as
our department, we used to work.
Yes, sir. So basically, what happens is we have seen innovators that we can take them through the different valleys of death, but ultimately, something they also have to put that passion or has to come from the innovators also. And there's a time when we have to leave that hand as well for the innovator to now move forward, so that they don't become fully dependent on the
Very
online.
interesting, very informative. Actually, most of, the kind of research what ICMR or other funding agencies want right now is something which is a deliverable, right? Not just limited to, a publication.
Right, ma'am.
But what
even publication and even up to patent. What is there to patent?
Yes.
You have patent, you have thousand patents, but it is not gone to the public.
Exactly.
There is nothing. What I am suffering, my triple conjugate, it is ICMR project product. But I cannot do the clinical trial. It cannot go. I don't have money.
So that
I have asked ICMR, it has been rejected. But I didn't know that time is Mitra.
Let's take Mitra. Now it's a recent one. It is for you only. It was
We are now friends.
Yes. On basically on formulation for kidney stones. Which is better than a polyherbal. But we fell into that valley of death.
Right.
And but with your Med Mitra,
it looks like we may be able to climb out and hopefully submit a proposal. Yes, ma'am, give us a try. Yes, that's what I'll say.
I'm so happy I brought her here. Now, there are many things they will contact you.
No, I'm very glad that you're from PGI. Even I'm way back in 1999. That's right. That's right. In fact, if you go and meet the director of PGI, current director of PGI, he's bubbling with energy. Now let me tell you, Dr. Vivek Lal है. Basically, अब मैं आपको बता रही हूँ सच में. Everybody at the senior leadership is amazing. Being in the government, people would say that फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाओगे, क्या करोगे, बट इतने मोटिवेटेड हैं बॉसेस कि आप देखो इस तरह का इनिशिएटिव इतनी मेहनत कौन करेगा. अब लीडरशिप इज रियली मोटिवेटेड, दे आर लुकिंग एट पीपल हु कैन डिलीवर एंड देयर इज फुल कमिटमेंट फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट. आई एम क्वाइट हैप्पी to say that being an insider, I can tell you that the ecosystem is really good. So you have to just leverage the opportunity. I think the people who are holding positions are also now accountable. So that is the reason why everybody is. People are working day in and day out. I mean, I was earlier in private sector. I was very comfortable. Here we are going crazy.
Private sector you are.
Here we are working like much more than any private person would work. Like crazy. The ambience.
There are what few are sitting here, they are all James. They are sitting quiet, but they have a huge contribution. They have several patents and all. It is not that. And we have in-house everything. What you are talking, we have done it a decade before. It is all established in-house.
Very nice.
So I know I have been in ICMR. I had a tough time to have 2 patents. Satyanarayana was there, K. Satyanarayana.
Yes, sir.
And then Srivastav, the lady Sadhana Srivastav. So, but that was US patent. But ultimately it was a communication gap. You cannot make the understand this, the US attorney who is fighting for it. He doesn't understand. My patent got lastly 3 years after it was rejected because he could not defend properly. He didn't understand that.
So that's why now the system is we are trying to make digital system so that anybody can log in and see that where is the backlog, where is this thing getting, I mean, I can understand from where you are coming, but we are just 4 or 5 months old as far as IPR is concerned, ITR is concerned. Maybe within a year we will be much better off.
So, Dr. Sujita, thanks for joining us in a meeting and thanks, sir, for being a umbrella. Now, as I already mentioned, that I am already heading with the metric metria, which generally seems to be very comfortable and convenient. And our innovation of clinical trial is based on developing next generation nutraceutical drug immune adjuvant against the tuberculosis. And the whole story started in 2008, when we show first time that sphingolipid which is a homeostatic lipid, by what you call amphipathic lipids, having a detrimental role in the lung pathophysiology, can control the mycobacterial replication. And then when I came back to India, I showed that this sphingolipid can indeed control the pathogenic mycobacteria, but the kind of sphingolipid that I have demonstrated is already allergic and autoimmune. This is sphingosine 1 phosphate. So now I had a question, in around 2018. And this was the work which I did in Hyderabad University from the DBT funded project. So how we can take it further if it is allergic? So we adopted the de novo path, which is by utilizing L-serine amino acid with the palmitoyl coenzyme A. And we know that these two compounds, these two basic components, can combine together and trigger the sequelae of the oxy-sphingolipid synthesis, which favor the host, not the pathogen. Because sphingolipid is a dual aspect, dual phase. It can help both host and pathogen, but we are interested in the host-directed approach. So considering that, we have done series of experiments in our DHR funded project. So this is the outcome of DHR funded project, which I got from in a meeting, along with the one more running with the ICMR on tuberculosis, IRTG. This tuberculosis research consortium. So headed by Dr. Manjula. So now we are at this stage, we have completed the preclinical studies. All toxicity studies is done. And now we have come up with a product. And interestingly, the already existing clinical trial with the L-serine in a neuropathic patient. There are 7 clinical trials which is already on, have been completed. So they also say it's non-toxic nature of L-serine. So this is supporting us and helping us a lot to directly start the phase 2 clinical, as sir has mentioned. So we are at that.
Congratulations.
Yes, we are at that stage. We are at
Great.
that stage. Yesterday night I had a discussion with the Taruna Malan.
Okay,
So now the Dr. Chopra is now connecting us with the NAR in Hyderabad.
right.
So we are at this stage, and as
Very
soon as
nice.
we do the preclinical or let's say some GMP toxicity compliance study, we are ready. We'll be ready.
Very nice. sir.
Expedite.
Very good.
Yes, Manoj.
Thank you very much for educating us, giving nice presentation. And I believe that ICMR has given a good platform to the innovators. And I have received at least 2 grants from ICMR. Yesterday itself I received the third year money and
Congratulations, sir.
for both the grants. And then I also ICMR second grant is under my.
Great.
So we are working on pancreatic cancer, gallbladder cancer, because these are the lethal cancer. So we are trying to develop some diagnostic and therapeutic. So they are in preliminary stage. So we have a proof of concept now. So I get enough education now how to take them forward.
Yes, sir.
So we will be looking forward for.
Right, sir. So basically, like
Wait,
you
wait,
are an
wait,
extramural grantee of ICMR. For you, the patent mitra is there. What happens, sir, that I understand that MET has a good system for patent evaluation filing. But if it happens through patent mitra, we are responsible for TT also, tech transfer also for those IPs. If they are converted, we will keep on evaluating those inventions and be behind you to understand that whether they have progressed to the next stage. And if ICMR tries to
Actually
get
looks
express
after our
interest-
technology transfer, so
Right.
please interact with
Basically,
them.
it is for
How do we
individual
connect,
grantees,
synergize?
extramural grantees. You can, in fact, if you have not even filed IP, you can even approach for TT separately, tech transfer separately, you can come. But there are 2 prerequisites. One is the patent should be filed for your invention and the technology should be validated, independently validated. Third party validated, independently validated, in-house validation and third party validation.
Yeah, third party validation is the most important.
That also you will support.
नहीं, उस स्टेज पे हम मानते हैं कि टेक ट्रांसफर के लिए रेडी है, सिर्फ पेटेंट नहीं करते. और अगर वो वैलिडेटेड नहीं है थर्ड पार्टी तो थ्रू मेटेक मित्रा से कनेक्ट करके वैलिडेट भी करा सकते हैं. तो वो भी है एक मैकेनिज्म.
This is very much helpful, medtech mitra, because see, academics, we being in the academia, most of our technologies are TRL 3 and 4. So medtech mitra would be more helpful for us for the validation purpose, and then we can.
No, even for
Third party independent.
even for the triple conjugate,
Yes.
we can now look at it. How do we take it? And if we have to do a third party validation, where is the gap? And then we can get it done. So they will support.
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mallavi.
That was a very good presentation. Thank you so much. And a lot new knowledge that we did not have, even though being working with ICMR. So I've got a ICMR project on urinary bladder surveillance of patients, basically.
सर देखिए कितने प्रोजेक्ट तो हैं आपके.
I
पैसा नहीं देते.
पहले बहुत था,
बस प्रूफ है.
पहले बहुत था, अभी तो
सबके पास है.
So we are looking for.
We have again another slide also.
सर आपके पास तो एविडेंस है.
सारे मेरा
हम लोग फिर अप्लाई किया है और भी चाहिए.
When sir is worried because they are the end is there, like I said.
Yeah. So just because I was just thinking on that this medical device and diagnostics very good and you are doing great. But for the general health of the public, even the prognosis and surveillance plays very important
Yes,
role.
yes.
And they also form into maybe surveillance kits or prognostic kits. And that's what we are working on. We are identifying novel biomarkers,
Right.
and that then can be converted into a kit, a device, a kit which can be used for prognosis. But can we come to this for that? I mean, can we go to because it says diagnostic, it doesn't say prognostic.
Yeah, both.
Because diagnostic means to detect the disease, right?
No, diagnostic, it could be screening, no, it's a POC हो सकता है ना.
Sure, well, that is fine. What I'm
No, you
saying
can
is-
use, you can.
Oh,
I
Can
can.
we include prognosis surveillance also as a product based in this particular thing?
See, basically, you can do anything, whatever you want. Everything has a place. कोई problem नहीं.
Right. Okay. The other thing, actually, this patent mitra, I got to know just today. Otherwise, if I would have gone to know earlier, I would have filed the patent. But then it was a long process, and I thought, okay, let's defer it. But
It's
of
a
course,
very
I'll
new
come to-
initiative.
Yes, I'll
We are
get
reaching
to
out
it
to-
as we progress. And can we all like I will finish the project in a year, but that patent thing may come a bit later. Even then, I can apply, right?
कभी भी. Anytime. You just have to use that number and your grant number and you can approach.
Thank you so much.
Will not do any kind of due
See, I
diligence.
would
Just that grant.
request your mindset should change. Because we are happy with publication and high impact, high citation, achieved tax.
That those days have gone.
Now, if you want grant, money is not there. If you want to another project which will lead to this only, no grant. Unless you show that like this whether it's survival or it is mRNA or any product biosensor, unless you show that I am going to take it to the people, there is no money, no grant will be given.
So everybody is saying that why do you continue this antibody detection for COVID? ICMR is so glad that they have given first and second, third year grant also they have released it. हमको सभी आके बता दे कि हम क्यों को ये काम कर रहे हो?
सर बेसिकली ऐसा है कि फंडिंग तो हर जगह है. हमारे 4 Ds में बढ़ गया है हमारा काम. डिस्कवरी, डेवलपमेंट, डिलीवरी और ये डेवलपमेंट. तो डेवलपमेंट में रिलेटिवली फंड ज्यादा है. ऐसा नहीं है कि बाकी चीजों में काम पैसा है ही नहीं. जैसे आपने कहा है ना, डिलीवरी भी है. इम्प्लीमेंटेशन रिसर्च इज आल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट. बट एवरीथिंग इज नाउ स्टैट्स ड्रिवन. अब ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ भी हो रहा है. एवरीथिंग इज बीइंग इवैल्यूएटेड साइंटिफिकली कि कहाँ क्या देना है, कितना देना है. सब उस तरह से हो रहा है डिसीजन मेकिंग. And everybody knows within the ICMR. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि it's only being kept by the higher officials. It's a very interesting way of working now in ICMR. We have SMT, senior management team meetings. Very periodically, we sit together, discuss, and then decisions are taken.
Very, very systematic.
Very systematic. Okay, so we are also seeing this new phase of ICMR being extremely systematic.
So now this is the whole government, not just only ICMR. Every department, whether it's DRDO, atomic energy or space, see the pace at which last 10 years it has grown. Because government is pushing, pulling. Ultimately, the results are coming. So that's why the fast development what you see. So ICMR has already geared up towards that. Atmanirbhar Bharat and Viksit Bharat. Yes, Shajil.
Sajina, please, I will have to go.
Yes, quickly I'll just wrap it up. So I just wrapped up my ICMR grant in a couple of months back. And I've applied for a new one. So, so being a clinician and purely of epidemiologist perspective, so we are working in technology.
She is from public health.
So we are working in technology, but it may not be technology like how it is perceived by others. So I am collaborating with IIT Guwahati on a project where we are trying to make scales. You know, there are lots of scales that we use, right, for surveillance, monitoring, evaluation, etc. So would those scales and implementation, and these are all large-based studies, population-based studies, can they also come in that?
Of course, my work is, I'm focusing more on development because I belong to the development research division.
Yeah.
There is a delivery research division. So we have funding for delivery research as well, implementation research as well. Just that the quantum of money there is relatively less than development.
We have applied for like a intermediate.
Not an issue. If your project is good, it will definitely run through. Okay, there's no issue at all.
So something purely epidemiological works as
Of course,
well.
no, definitely.
All right, thank you.
See, that is also a device. See, ultimately you will convert that into a scale, which they will use it for measuring, quantifying, evaluating. So that's also a device ultimately.
Thank you.
It's not a hardware like a system or an instrument, but it is a software instrument. Okay, now Shanavas, he will come at the end.
Maybe, sir.
अच्छा
हाँ,
ये
सर, जाना था ना, सर।
नहीं, बोलो तो then I will say something.
Hello, ma'am. Yeah, with nice presentation. I'm also from the same department, Miss Public Health.
Right.
So my it was a truly nice presentation, and what I learned that if we are ready, as you told that although the funds are relatively high in the development, but also the delivery or the implementation. So we are basically in that. So in that, I was thinking along with this health technology assessment, because once you develop some product, once you develop some center, so in regular the assessment or the you can say the monitoring and the efficacy of the product, whether it is sustainable or not sustainable. So what is the mechanism, if any, that thing is there to know that that thing is sustainable over the time or like that? Is there?
I think market forces will decide what is sustainable or not. It's very difficult to give you an absolute answer, but for HTA, there are two prerequisites. One, you should have a manufacturing license already there. So, health technology assessment, the systematic evaluation of products to evaluate them from public health perspective is done for the products which are mature. Wherein you have received the regulatory approvals and you would like to see if government can procure it into the programs. But giving an answer to your question would be really difficult in the sense that it will be depends upon technology to technology market forces.
And also, I think there is a lack of trained manpower also for that, because the trained resources are.
We have a separate
very much
HRD
required.
unit. Sir knows that we have an HRD department looking at different kind of fellowships.
Manoj, you want to say anything? Okay. Tinku?
Actually, we have two more devices.
Yes, ma'am.
That is really up to the very few sample study.
Right.
One is that triglyceride, cholesterol, and troponin in one device. And you can see everything in the mobile with the history.
Sure.
Similarly, we have another device where we are checking glucose and HbA1c together in one device. But
Nice.
separate strips are there. You can keep the things recorded. You can see your last 1 year result. And this, if I get some grant, it can be converted for the not only for the diagnosis, but the diagnosis and prognosis also with the help of AI model.
Ma'am, you can approach us through MedTech Mitra. Don't wait for the next year grant to come.
Okay.
Just apply the application and we will be happy to validate this technology and evaluate it from regulatory perspective. That I'm sure you might have developed it in-house. Have you also taken some regulatory approvals to conduct the study, or you have done academic proof of concept in lab?
Only academic and troponin we could not do because this the sample doesn't stay for a long time. It's 8 and 9 years.
Sir, I think for
Do you sit with us?
MedTech Mitra. MedTech Mitra is the
Talking about
Yeah, no, just.
So I think MedTech Mitra is the right place for you to put an application, and we will be help you out in converting into get a regulatory strategy guidance and validation.
Any of the online people would like to comment, ask some questions? Anyone? And you have Dr. Sujit, Gurjeet Kaur. Are you there? Dr. Lucy Mahapatra? No, if there are any questions, then you can just ask. Otherwise, Meenakshi, you want to say anything?
Hello.
Yes. Yes, Dr.
Hello.
Lucy, go ahead.
Good evening, all dignitaries over there, and thank you for this nice session. If I'm audible to you all.
Yeah, introduce yourself and then just ask your question precisely.
Yes, sir. This is Dr. Lucy Mahapatra, Associate Professor Pharmacology from MIT Institute of Pharmacy, AUUP Lucknow campus. There is an undergoing ICMR project right now. Me being the principal investigator. And I have come up with some promising results. Then can we extend that for a clinical trial or clinical studies in collaboration with ICMR?
Ma'am, you can use the MedTech Mitra portal. We will evaluate your case and then provide you guidance in whatever way possible. But of course, collaborating with ICMR is possible, not an issue.
Ma'am, one more query
Please look at-
regarding the same. Yeah.
So,
Ma'am, for that, hello.
you will have to apply through. There are two options. One is you apply through the open grant, which comes out annually. We have annual grants, and otherwise, if you miss the open grant, you can apply to MedTech Mitra, and we will review your case and support you in whatever best possible way. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And one more query, ma'am. If we are not like right now, it is my third year just completing. I'm about to submit all those details.
Come out with some.
Okay.
Articles are yet to be published.
So you send the first the MedTech Mitra, you look at this and register where do you stand in that supply chain?
Yes.
Whether it's an ideation to deliverable, where is your invention or innovation? Then subsequently we either the MedTech Mitra itself can guide you, or we'll talk to Dr. Suchita. Okay, we'll help.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. So now if there are no questions, I would request him to Dr. B.C. Das to give the concluding remarks.
Yeah, I have said many things, but first of all, thank you so much that you gave a lot of new information. I have heard about, because being a oldest persons in the ICMR, though my time people have all retired, but there are many still there, young generations, with Tanbir and all these people, and Harkit Singh and so we all I get the information, but we didn't have the full information of this MedTech Mitra or MedTech Patent Mitra and all. So this is good thing that the all other people have come to know. All are doing here, all we do research mainly with the, for example, my institute is a clinical cancer research and translation research. With the towards some product, it may be device, it may be any product or any medicine or any device or any diagnostic technique. So, or screening methods. So, I think this is a very helpful talk for everybody. And I wish that the many people you invited, they should have been here. Mona Lisa should have been here and her group. So there are all good people who are, because of the amity is that it's quite different and that the I only when I left ICMR and then DU and then I came here and I came in 14 and 15 I did the concept. They told you can do
file a patent.
File the patent of the concept. There was nothing, no experiment done. So this triple conjugate I patented that time, filed the patent. And then that took 4 years to get and it is now patented. But and it is important to patent Indian patent first, then to go for US patent. So that is how the situation. So, but it's thank you so much and thanks to Dr. Selvamurthy that is associated that he could call you and invite you to for these talks. But time to time we invite from different organizations, ICMRs. I think Sadhana Srivastava also once came. And Tanveer also once came, and like that we try to bring. So then what are the funding new things? We may not be knowing many things which are new policy has been taken, but as a ICMR person, old person, so I have sent the more than half a dozen DG. I started my career with the great Ramalinga Samir. So I prepared him slides for his presentations. So as a research officer, when I joined, I went to his house to deliver the. I remember that the slides to him. He was so. He's a great orator. So that time I joined, and that's onwards, several DG has gone. I have seen many things, and all throughout at least 25, 30 years, I was
Nothing to think about. Yes.
almost 3 decades. I was even after retirement from there, I was the member of the PRC, all project, 2 divisions. The basic medical, now it is 10 divisions, I think. So earlier it was a basic medical science, BMS, who is now
Discovery research. It is now changed to discovery research.
हाँ discovery research. पहले तो ये बसंता थी, उसके बाद this lady.
अभी तो रुचि है.
हाँ, so then and NCD I was more involved because of cancer. So it is more than three decades I was a PRC member, and I had been from ICMR, I had a big say rather. So that way, that experience, but I was not only in there, I was in CSIR, I am DBT, I was in DST. So all this experience, but certainly I must appreciate this TG. I have had several interactions during this implementation project. So several times met, and then that Jhajar meeting also.
Okay.
So there, so that they are coming out with the publications now, that deliberations.
Yes, sir.
So he has a good focused idea, and he wants to see that it is implemented.
Yes.
And these things, it's a new idea. There's a good. I would say that it's a visionary idea. So giving some name, so it becomes more
friendly,
friendly and acceptable. People will remember quickly.
Yes,
and to do it, and just to make people impressive for the researcher community. So this is excellent, and thank you so much. And the interaction of our colleagues are also, it's less time, but then they are doing excellent work. But as you understand, they are basic researchers.
Yes, sir.
But now things have changed. Is a translation. Everybody is looking for some product, something. There are many who have not participated, but there are many scientists, because we have the maximum number of Ramalinga Suri Fellow in this campus and Inspired Fellow. And my institute has almost the highest number for any department, having more than 12 we have. So that is what, and so thank you so much.
Good. Let's give a big round to Dr. Suchindra. And also Dr. Suchendra, who coordinated. Let's give a clap to Dr. Who started here and coordinated the event. Now, let me also just thank her, because I have been able to work with her. I saw the dynamism, enthusiasm, commitment, killer instinct, aggression. You see that things happen very fast. That is the unique feature of Suchita, because since she has been member secretary of our committee. So this I can see translated into actions, right from A to Z, the whole ideation to product deliverable. She has established the ecosystem. What is required for standards, medical instrument standards means which standard for this diagnostic kit, if it's a biosensor, what is the Bureau of Indian Standards? What is the other standards to be seen from US or European? So all that is available. Then materials, because every device you will use materials. Where do you go for selecting the right materials? Then design, how it look, this device will look at aesthetically, ergonomically. So everything from there to deliverable is that clinical evaluation, testing, certification, documentation, and then ultimately manufacturing and technology transfer, manufacturing, scaling up, and commercialization. The whole thing is available. So ICMR has established this, and she is an important part of the system. Let us, she is willing to help Amity. The reason why she has come and spent such a long time is she is our friend, and she will, any problem, you can either go and meet her, talk to her, send a mail, and she is a mitra. She is our mitra. So that is why it'll be very useful, and I'm so happy, I'm so grateful, Dr. Suchita, that you could find time to be with us. You come more often. It is your university now, and also we will work with you because we want to. ICMR, we are already doing a lot of research together. But then now we have published 45,000 papers, H index is 176, 2,390 patents. But now we need your help in monetizing the patents. How do you translate them into a deliverable? Where if it is TRL 3-4 in medical device, how do we take your help and advice, guidance, and then take it further? So all this, see, this is a much more painful than just publishing a paper or just filing a patent. Is much easier. This needs, if it is a biosensor, who is my partner? Where do I go and validate this? How many samples? You need to exert. But this is what is the requirement today in the country. No, it can give. See, publication. No, even before that, the science part of it is always publishable.
You can publish. I have sent my paper for the
That's no problem.
with a coded name. The coded name.
See,
That is possible.
So let me just give an example. The thing which you are doing it's not a very innovative thing. Already standard things are there.
Right.
We are only converting this big thing to in a small device. That's all.
So we'll discuss it later. So let's give a big clap once again to Dr. Suchita and all of you for this wonderful, making it very useful. And we have a small moment to.
Thank you, sir.
Suchita,
Thank you for inviting.
Original you had. Original later.
That's the Das.
ये है डीलर
Dealer.
जो आए थे डीलर
Dr. BC Das.
वो फोन किया मैंने वो आए थे मेरे पास वो अभी फोन किया
आप
चलिए सर, हाँ,
उससे बात करेंगे
उससे भी बात करते हैं।
Thank you for.
एक सब बात
आ जाइए क्लोज आ जाइए तो सर
Sorry, my
हाँ जी no that's why I make it a point I have to go to doctors so I made a point that I come to your function your lecture
Thank you, sir.
because after all
Thank you very much.
my alma mater
Definitely, sir.
yes
If it is said,
Sure, sure.
Yeah, thank you, madam.
So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
And we will
Ask her to get support.
we are there.
NAR के डायरेक्टर से एक बार बात हो जाए फिर we'll take off.
नहीं यहाँ तो छोड़ेंगे नहीं बीच में.
Yes. And madam, this our in our innovation, Shalma Agra, AIMS, both are involved.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sir, अब तो fly करेगा ही आपका. Thank you, sir. Nice meeting you.
And madam,
You can take from her also.
Dr. Prasad will be our CRO.
Coming. अच्छा.
हमारा वो काम ले लीजिए याद रहेगा अब
Let it go home.
नहीं सर को तो हम कैसे बोल सकते हैं सर सुपर सीनियर है ऐसे तो you can call any time
Because